السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Our lesson today إن شاء الله direct variation. In our lesson today إن شاء الله we will recognize what's the meaning of direct variation. Number 2, find the constant of variation. Constant of variation. Number 3, apply the direct variation in the real life. At first, we know that if I have square like this, the perimeter of square equals side length times 4. Side length times 4. We notice that if we have some values wait a moment, if we have this table, we have x and b for perimeter. If we put for x 1 2 3 4 as side and find the perimeter in each case, if the side length equals 1, then the perimeter equals 4. 1 times 4 equals 4. If the side length equals 2, then the perimeter equals 8. If the side length equals 3, then the perimeter equals 12. If the side length equals 4, then the perimeter equals 16. 4 times 4 equals 16. We notice that from this table, if I want to find the ratio between x1 and x2, x1 divided by x2, it will be 1 over 2. If I want to find the ratio between b1 and b2, b1 and b2, it will be 4 divided 8, yes, equals 1 over 2 also. And also, if I want to find the ratio between x1 x3, it will be b1 divided by b3. x1 divided by x4, it will be b1 divided by b4. So we notice that, or we can say that b varies directly as x. V varies directly as x. Varies directly as x varies directly as we can write instead of varies directly as this sign. So we can read this as B varies directly as S. Varies directly as S. But this not equation. I want to write it as equation, solve it. Then we can write B equals M times S, MS, such as that M is the constant of variation. The constant of variation equals B1 divided B2, or means B1 divided B2 equals X1 divided X2. If I said B1 divided B3, it will be equals BX1 divided X3. B1 divided B4 equals X1 divided X4. Again, if I say that B varies directly as S, it means B equals MS, constant, equals. To cancel this sign and put equals, I must multiply S by constant, and this constant is called the constant of variation. Then, if we have B varies as S, write directly B equals MS. It means B1 divided B2 equals X1 divided X2. This is the meaning of varies directly. Varies directly. Okay? Okay, miss. Remark. If we take this table and want to represent it by using graph, this relation is Yes, linear, linear, linear relation as we studied in algebraic before. The direct variation is represented by straight line, represented by a straight line because it is linear function, because it's linear function, so it's represented by straight line. This straight line must passing through the origin point, must passing through the origin point. Again, we say that b equals ms. This function is linear function, and we know that the linear function is represented by a straight line, but this straight line must be passing through the origin point. So if I have example number one, which of the following represented direct variation? Letter A, B, C. Letter A, straight line. B, straight line. C, straight line. But which one is passing through the origin point? Letter B. So letter B represent direct variation. Represent direct variation. It means when x increase, also b will increase. Okay? Okay. Example number two. If y varies directly as x and y equals 2 at x equals negative 12, we also know each point on the straight line represented by ordered pair x and y. And in the given y equals 2 at x equals negative 12, find the constant of variation and the relation between x and y. The relation between x and y. At first, we have y varies directly as x. Since y varies directly as x, then y equals. We cancel this sign and put equals. Y equals mx. Y equals mx, and this is the relation between y and x. But we know we want to find the want to find the constant of variation m to write the relation. How can we find the m? Yes, in the given we have y equals 2 at x equals negative 12. Substitute y equals 2 and x equals negative 12 to find the constant of, yes, the constant of variation. Then 2 equals negative 12 x times m. Negative 12 is the coefficient of m. Divided by the coefficient negative 12, then m equals 2 divided by negative 12 equals negative 1 over 6. Write the relation, then y equals negative 1 over 6 times lx, negative 1 over 6x. And this is the relation between y and x. If I have any value of y, we can find the value of x. If you have any value of x, you can find the value of y. This is the relation. And m is the constant of variation. M is the constant of variation. And the relation y equals, the relation y equals. We can also find m. We can also find m or find the relation by another way. We'll say it later. Example 3. If y varies directly as x and y equals 9 and x equals negative 12, find y when x equals 18. When x equals 18. At the first, we say y varies directly as x, then y equals mx. This is the first step. Y varies directly as x, then y equals mx. We have y at x. Y at x equals, then substitute y equals 9 and x equals negative 12, then we can find the constant of variation m equals 9 over negative 12. Simplify, then m equals negative 3 divided by 4. Then the relation equals Write the relation y equals mx. Just put the value of m. Then y equals negative 3 over 4x. And this is the relation between y and x. And by using this relation, we can find the value of y if you have any value of x, and the value of x if you have any value of y. He asked me for find y at x equals 18. Right, at x equals 18, then y equals negative 3 over 4 times 18. Cancel x and put 18. By using your calculator, then y equals negative 27 divided by 2. Divided by 2. Also, miss, another solution. We can find y. If you ask me find y at x equals or x at y equals, I said that y varies directly as x. It means, as we said before, y1 divided by y2 equals, yes, x1 divided by x2. y1 divided by y2 equals x1 divided by x2. y1 divided by y2 equals x1 divided by x2 because it's direct variation. y1 equals 9 divided by y2 equals x1 equals negative 12. He said that y equals 9 at x equals negative 12 divided by x2 18. We wanted to find y when x equals 18. By using a cross multiplication, then y2 equals negative 27 divided by 2. Negative 27 divided by 2. And we can use this solution if you ask me to find y at x equals, but if he ask me to find the relation, use the first solution. Okay? Example 4. If y varies directly as x power 2 and y equals 20 when x equals 2, y equals 20 when x equals 2. Find y when x equals 3. You can use solution number 1 or solution number 2 as you like. But I prefer number 1. Y varies directly as x power 2. Then y equals. Cancel this sign and put equals. Equals constant. Equals constant. Instead of this sign, put equals m. Equals m. Then y equals mx power 2. Mx power 2. Or here he used the second solution, the second way. Y1 divided by y2, it will be x1 divided by x2. No, y varies directly as x power 2. It will be x1 power 2 divided x2 power 2. y1 equals 20. 20 divided by 2, the required equals x1 2, x1 all power 2, 2 power 2 equals 4, divided by x3, x2 equals 3, 3 power 2 equals 9. Cross multiplication, then y power 2, y2 equals 45. And also we can say y equals mx power 2. Mx power 2. Put y equals 20 and x equals 2 and find the value of m, the constant of variation, and write the relation. Then substitute in the relation x equals 3. You will get y2 equals 45. Remark: how can we prove that y varies directly as x? When we have to prove that y equals mx, such that or where m doesn't equal 0, then we prove that y varies directly as x. Example 5. This is another kind of questions. The required prove that y varies directly as z. How can I prove that y varies directly as z? Prove that y equals mz, such that m constant. Maybe y equals 2z, negative 3z, 1 over 2z, any constant times z, it means y varies directly as z. In the given, we have fraction equals fraction, ratio equals ratio, and I said in the proportion, if you have ratio equals ratio, cross multiplication. Cross multiplication. So I will take the first ratio equals first ratio by cross multiplication, multiply z, open bracket 21x minus y equals y, open bracket 7x minus z. 21x z, 21x z. And write the letters by order. Minus yz equals y times 7x, 7xy, minus yz, yz. Left hand side, right hand side, negative yz, negative yz, cancel it. Then 21 can cancel x, cancel x. 7 and 21 we can divide it by 7. So x is divided by 7, divided by 7. Then we have here y equals 3z. Y equals 3z. Y equals a constant times z. It means that y varies directly as z. Again, to prove that y varies directly as z, we must prove that y equals a constant times z. Constant, any number constant, except 0. We have fraction equals fraction, ratio equals ratios. The first step, cross multiplication, and cancel the like terms from left hand side and right hand side, divided by 7. Then y equals 3z. It means y equals a constant times z. Example 6. If 4x power 2 minus 12xy plus 9y power 2 equals 0, then prove that y varies as x. And if x equals 12, find the value of y. We stop at prove that y varies directly as x. We notice that up 4x power 2 minus 12xy plus 9y power 2. If I take the root of the first term, it will be 2x. The root of the third, it will be 3y. 2 times 3 equals 6, times 2 equals 12xy. Then the root of the first times the root of the second times 2, it gives me the middle term. Then this expression is perfect square, and we can write it as, yes, super excellent, open bracket all power 2, root the first, sine of the middle, root the third, equals 0. Bracket power 2 equals 0. It means we can take the bracket only one time. 2x minus 3y equals 0. Then 2x equals 3y. I want to prove that what? Y varies directly as x. It means y equals the constant x divided by 3. Then y equals 3 over 2, 2 over 3x. Y equals the constant times the x. Then y varies directly as x. The second part of the required, if x equals 12, find the value of y. It's so easy. Put x in the relation equals 12, you can find the value of y. Then y equals 2 over 3 times 12. And use your calculator to find the final result. Example 7. If y varies directly as this bracket, 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1. And y equals 12 when x equals 1. Then find the relation between x and y and find the value of y at x equals negative 5. Again, y varies directly as this bracket 2x plus 2x plus 1 and y equals 12 when x equals 1. The first step we have in the given y varies directly as 2x plus 1. Write y varies directly as 2x plus 1. And we cancel this sign and put equals m equals m. Then y equals m times a bracket 2x plus 1. We have y equals 12 when x equals 1. Put y equals 12 when x equals 1. Substitution. Then 12 equals m times 2 times 1 plus 1. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1 equals 3. Then 3m equals 12 divided by 3, then m equals 4. Then the relation is, don't forget to write the relation. Y equals m, which equals 4, then y equals 4, open bracket 2x plus 1. This is the relation between y and x. Don't forget to write the relation. And he asked me to find the value of y at x equals negative 5. Direct substitution. Cancel x and put negative 5. Then y equals 4, open bracket, 2, x negative 5 plus 1. By using your calculator, you can find the final result, which is negative 36. Then, the important step here, write the brackets. Since y varies directly as 2x plus 1, put it in two brackets. Then y equals, cancel the sign and put equals m equals m times this bracket. In the given here, we have y equals 12 when x equals 1. Put y equals 12 when x equals 1. You will find the value of m, which is the constant of variation. Then write the relation. The relation equals y equals m times this bracket. And we find m equals 4. Then the relation y equals 4 times 2x plus 1. Then he give me y equals when or at x equals to find m. The two values y equals and x equals to find m. From this relation we can find any value of y at any value of x. Find the y at x equals negative 1, then y equals 4, open bracket, 2x equals negative 5, 2 times negative 5 plus 1 equals negative 36. Our lesson today is so easy. Try to solve by yourself, more exercise, and we'll complete inshallah next session. Thank you for listening.